During the middle of the week, we talked about context clues, and I made this little presentation as a quick review to see how much you remember about context clues. Anyhow, I have made a little image, and I want to know if anyone in the class knows what the image below is. It's a piece of a cropped off part of a picture, kind of like a piece to a jigsaw puzzle. I'm sure everyone can keep guessing. Maybe somebody has gotten it in the class because it kind of does look like something you've seen before. But if you take a piece of a puzzle, or you take a word that's in a sentence and you take it away from all the other words and you try to figure out what it is, sometimes that's hard to do. So the next page gives you a little bit more information about the cropped image. Now that you can see around the original image, we can tell that it is a cute little duckling. The next page will show you what the actual duckling image looks like. So now that you can see some of the image surrounding the last image, you can use contextual clues, words around words that you don't know, to figure out what the word's meaning is. So if it's an unfamiliar or new word, instead of getting up to get the dictionary, unless you want to do that, which I always encourage, you can actually look at the words around. So now here's a picture of the actual whole image, which is an adorable little duckling. Okay, here's some sentences with words in it that you might not know. The word weary. Well, some people might not know what the word worry is, but if we read the whole sentence and we look at the context clues around the word, we might be able to figure out what the word weary means. After studying for 12 hours straight, Rob was growing weary. Well, I'm looking at the sentence and I'm looking at words that might indicate what the meaning of weary is. What are some of the clues? Well, it says that he studied for 12 hours straight, and if anyone's ever done that, well, you know that 12 hours straight is a very long time. So I'm thinking that probably Rob's getting a little bit tired. I'm wondering if weary might mean tired. We have the answers and the definitions at the end of this unit. Next word. The word we don't know is anxious. Whenever Sue was more than an hour late, Alex became very anxious. Well, I don't know what the word anxious means. I can look back at the sentence and say, well, is there something in the sentence that indicates to me what anxious might mean? Well, Sue was more than an hour late probably means that somebody was expecting her. And if anyone's ever expected somebody and they didn't show up on time, they probably got a little bit worried. So I'm thinking that maybe, because she was more than an hour late, maybe Alex was worried. In the next sentence, we have Chris could see nothing but the sky over the fields as he wandered through the desolate plains. Well, I'm looking at the word desolate, and I'm thinking I don't really know what that means, so I'm going to underline desolate. So what can I see from the rest of the sentences around that might indicate to me what desolate might mean? Well, let me think. Chris could see nothing. He could see nothing but the sky. If you've ever been in a place where you can only see the sky, it's not like New Hampshire. It's not full of mountains and trees. But it does say fields and plains, so we are referring to the outside. So, and he's wandering around and he doesn't see anything. I'm thinking that possibly desolate might mean something like, I don't know, deserted? Empty? Let's try this a little bit more. Al hoped that with extraordinary athletic abilities, he would get a college scholarship. Well, I'm looking at the word extraordinary, but I don't know what that means. Kind of like the word extraordinary because its own context clues are right there, extraordinary. But, that could be more than ordinary. Well, in both cases it works. So what else? It says he hoped he's going to get a college scholarship. Well, to get a college scholarship, you have to be very good. So, and he has athletic abilities that will get him one. So I'm thinking maybe a word for that might be amazing. And finally, we have Jack likes to sit on the edge of the pier when the wind is calm and the water is tranquil. Well, if I don't know what the word tranquil means, we can look around. If Jack is sitting at the edge of a pier, I'm thinking it's a nice, pretty scene. And the wind is calm. Well, the word calm means something to me right there. Well, if the wind is calm, that means the water is not moving very much. So I'm almost thinking that if the wind is calm, the water is calm. So maybe tranquil means calm. Let's check it out. Yep, we have weary is tired. Anxious is worried. Desolate is deserted. Extraordinary, remarkable, we said amazing, close enough. And tranquil, free from commotion or disturbance. In my opinion, that means it's probably a peaceful or a restful place. So using context clues in the sentences, we could tell what the words meant, even if we didn't know at the beginning if they were an unfamiliar word or a word that was difficult for us. So that's my review, and I hope you enjoyed my summary.